Hello, my figure skating peoples. It is I, Asher Hill. Welcome back to That Figure Skating Show. We are deep into the World Figure Skating Championships in Beantown, aka Boston. Day one has concluded, and what a shakeup that was. And day two, we are halfway through. We just concluded with the men's short program, and my God, is the quad god here. As you can hear in my voice, the excitement is too much to bear by myself. So I have our man on the ground, my colleague, Devin Heroux, live in studio with me. Well, he's not here in the studio with me. He's actually in Boston. Devin, how are you? How are you enjoying the figure skating, waking up at ungodly hours for the practices? How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, Asher, wonderful to be joining you. I want to clarify, I am not the quad god, but yes, of course, Ilia Malinin was on the ice just a short time ago. I'm a step away from it. It was absolutely electric in here at the Garden. Of course, the quad god, Ilia Malinin, wowing the crowd. In fact, Asher, we're learning that his score here this afternoon, the fourth highest short score program ever. So he wowed them just like it was to be expected. I'm so inspired, Asher. I feel like lacing up and getting on this ice. It has been so good so far. Like you said, early hours, long nights. This figure skating grind is not for the weak, but it is spectacular to be here.
So have we converted you to an official figure skating fan? And if so, what discipline do you think you would be able to tackle and execute perfectly?
Well, yeah, you know what? I think I'm all in on this. Of course, I cover a lot of curling, so I'm familiar with the ice to begin with. Now I just got to put on the blades. I used to skate back home in Saskatchewan, so that should be pretty easy. And listen, having just seen this men's short program, I think that is a discipline for me, Asher. I'm not one to always want to share the spotlight, so perhaps the men's singles discipline is perfectly suited for me. It's been so fun to be ringside throughout all of this, and of course it's just going to build and build as we get into the free skates.
You heard that first. Quads for Devin. The only thing he is throwing is stones, not other people. So, of course, Boston Worlds. Lots at stake here. Medals, of course, Olympic spot. But there is something else in the atmosphere here. Of course, I'm talking about the American airline flight 5342, and to start the World Championships, there was a beautiful tribute to those that we lost. Can you talk about the tribute?
You know, it's just absolutely heartbreaking, Asher. The thing I've learned about this sport and this community, it is so tight-knit. So it was a shockwave sent across this sporting community, and they really did a beautiful job to honor the victims, and it'll certainly be something that hangs over this entire World Championship. But just first-class job here by Boston in that memorial ceremony.
If you want to donate and support the families, you can check out the U.S. Figure Skating Family Support Fund on the USFS. That's the United States Figure Skating Federation's website. Many of the skaters competing here at the World Championships for the USA had taken the ice for the Legacy Gala that raised funds and honored the victims of this crash. And one of those people is our current leader in the men's short program, and that is Ilia Malinin. I just watched what happened. You got to see it live. I just want your first impressions, because I know as like the expert, but I want to know what you were feeling and how it is to be at the rink anytime Ilia walks in or practices.
Well, first of all, the thing that strikes me about Ilia Malinin is that he loves the spotlight. He's a superstar. When he walks into the building, Asher, he has to pass right by our camera position. He's got an entourage. Cameras are following him. He's got the look. He's got the swagger. And then he follows it up when he takes to the ice. You know, it was so wonderful to be inside this arena. There was sort of this spontaneous eruption of noise and applause and cheering. Even before his program had finished here this afternoon, it gave me goosebumps, quite frankly, because it was just so special. Like I said, the fourth highest score in a short program ever. Nathan Chen, the American, of course, holds the top score ever. But Ilia was so pleased with it. Yuma, he was right behind Ilia Asher, and they shared a hug in the area with the media. So Yuma and Ilia, immense respect for one another, but Malinin in the spotlight, Asher, and he is soaking it up. He said in 2016 he was in the crowd. Now he's on the ice and the crowd is cheering for him. Pretty remarkable stuff.
Of course, you have to have an entourage when you are a god. You need your pantheon of demigods to help support you. So, his score was 110. One element scored 21 points. That was his quad flip triple toe. And then, like you said, Yuma Kageyama had to follow him after such immense pressure, and he lays it down. I can't even imagine the feeling there. It was just a consummate performance. And I just want to quickly touch on the bronze medalist, or not bronze medalist, the man currently in bronze medal position, Mikhail Shaidarov of Kazakhstan, is in position to be the first Kazakhstani to win a world title since Dennis 10, a world medal since Dennis 10 in 2015. Super exciting. Let's obviously talk about our lone Canadian man here. That is Roman Sadovsky. He delivered a pretty good skate, 80 points in the short program. Quad sow beautiful, triple axle beautiful. A little bit of a mistake on that combo. Tell me, did you get to talk to him before the short program and after?
Yeah, before and after, Asher, and I think that sound you're hearing is a sigh of collective relief across Canada. That was a sense from Skate Canada officials and everyone around Roman. Would he be able to meet the moment and deliver amidst all of this pressure? You know, it's one thing to be competing at a World Championships. You add in the wrinkle of this being a Olympic qualifying situation, and it is pressure. And Roman just showed up here today. I'm calling it sort of a business-like performance from him. He has experience now on the international stage, and I think he had to lean on all of that here this afternoon. And of course his coach Tracy, they have been together and through so much. She was relieved and so happy for Roman. So let's see if he can just keep that going into the free skate, because we know that position at the Olympics is going to be so crucial, not only in the men's discipline, but also for the team event, Asher, as well.
Yes, of course. Now, let's head on to the women's event. Surprises here. Alyssa Liu of the USA is in first place. Mona Chiba of Japan in second. Isabel Levito of the USA in third place. But before we get to those surprises, Madeline Skizas, again, our lone entry for the women's event. She did what needed to be done.
She has had an up and down season. You and I were with her in Laval. She talked about her relationship with training and falling in love with that and falling in love with skating and wanting to show up at the rink and practice. And she said she had 3 solid weeks of training coming into the World Championships. I went to both of her practices. They were early. And she looked so poised and confident. I was so struck by her confidence. And then when she came out here, she was just able to do what she has been doing. That's what she said. Muscle memory, trust the training, trust everything I've done to this point. And she did it. She's 6th after the short program. It really is spectacular. And I think everyone, the feeling I have right now from speaking to everyone here is they're just so happy for Maddie, and again, she has to do it on demand, under pressure, tomorrow night in the free program.
One of my favorite quotes from Maddie is that hope is not a strategy, and let's hope that she can stay into that top 10 spot. So important to send those 2 women. Let's talk about the surprises here. Kaori Sakamoto and Amber Glenn, who are favorites to win this event or be on the podium, are sitting in fifth for Sakamoto, 9th for Amber Glenn. Madeline Skizas is actually ahead of her. Alyssa Liu is in first place after a 2-year hiatus when she came 3rd at Worlds in 2022. Comes back unbothered, number 1, heading into the free program. Can you talk about her skate?
Yeah, you know, Asher, I think the key to success in life is to retire and then come back out of retirement. That's what I'm seeing. This seems to be a theme. To that point, I know we're joking about it, but I asked Alyssa about that very thing. Do you think that time away from the sport allowed you to come back into this moment, playing with house money, nothing to lose? And I always think an athlete is really, really dangerous when they really have nothing to lose, when there are no expectations. And she really soaked up the moment. It was wonderful. Did a cartwheel before she took to the ice and then wowed the crowd here. Kaori Sakamoto, a bit of a shock. Amber Glenn, she's undefeated throughout this season in every event she entered. And we set this thing up, Asher, by saying if there's a knock against Amber Glenn, it's that she allows these big international meets to become too big. And that was exactly the case again. It was so deflating in here. The crowd was just, they didn't know how to react. And so we'll see how things turn around. You know, a lot of the scoring is so close. The margins of error so thin. But that opening day was full of twists and turns that I don't think any one of us could have ever expected.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping Amber Glenn will deliver, especially that beautiful triple axel, or else I owe Brenda a beer. Let's head to the pairs event where Japan's Miura and Kihara lead the way, followed by Conti and Machi of Italy, and third, the Germans Minerva, Fabian Haase, and Nikita Volodin. But let's go right to the Canadians, who sit in 7th, 10th, and 12th. That's Deanna and Max in 7th, followed by Trent Michaud and Leah Pereira. And then, of course, Kellyanne Loren and Luca Etier, who I thought had the skate of the night.
Kellyanne and Luca, they took ownership over their training, Asher. They wanted to own the plan coming into Worlds, and they owned their performance. It was so wonderful to see them step into this spotlight and deliver the performance they knew they were capable of. They have so many learnings from their Worlds debut in Montreal 1 year ago. They leaned on all of those key learnings, and then they put forward a spectacular performance. For Trent and Leah, Deanna and Max, it wasn't the night they were expecting, and so now it becomes very dramatic because we're talking about these Olympic quota spots. Canada wants to qualify 3 pairs teams. Well, we know it's a little complicated, Asher, and math is not my strong suit, but what you do is you take the 2 combined placements. So let's say Deanna and Max come in 3rd, 4th. That is a good situation for Canada because then Trent and Leah, they have to come in, anywhere from 6th to 8th, and they should be okay to get under the cutoff, which is 13. Lucky number 13 here tonight. That's a combined number you want to stay under to get those 3 quota spots. So they could have made their lives a lot easier going into tonight, but we love the drama, Asher, and so it's going to be must-see TV because you talk about the 7th place and whatnot for Max and Deanna, reigning world champions. Those scores are so tight, and you know there are going to be teams ahead of them that falter under the pressure here tonight. So it's all on the line. It's why we show up at the rink, because anything can happen, and I'm expecting fireworks here tonight.
Yes, well, Deanna, all these pair teams have that fire, but especially Deanna and Max, they really want to get back onto that podium. We will be concluding the pairs event tonight, and you can catch that on at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on CBC Gem. You can watch Brenda, Carol, and Kurt comment all the way through. And of course, I will be back here for recaps of the ice dance and the women's event for Saturday, hopefully with Devin. Thank you guys so much for joining. Enjoy the skating. And again, to all the skaters in Boston, good luck.